Welcome to the Vernon Hills Update. The update offers information about a variety of village services. You'll meet a few of your neighbors and you'll find out about upcoming events. On today's show, we'll stop by the office of John Kalmar, who was recently named the new Vernon Hills Village Manager. We'll visit with the Glacier Ice Arena to meet some local skating champions and learn how folks of all ages can enjoy a variety of skating opportunities. We'll talk with the Lake County Board Chairman Aaron Lawlor, who will update us on the news from the county level. We'll introduce you to the work of animal education and rescue, and to the many dogs, cats, and other creatures looking for forever homes. If you have comments or suggestions, please contact Mike Storto at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at vhills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.
Well, when it comes to good neighbors to know, this month, this is a familiar face. He's a longtime neighbor. This is John Kalmar. In fact, you've known him for 14 years here at the Village Hall. But we are, as of February, you have a new title, a new hat. Let's talk about that.
As of February 1st, I am the new village manager for Vernon Hills.
And this has been something that's been kind of a transition. You've been transitioning for quite a while, 14 years probably.
Yeah. Actually, Mike announced his retirement at the end of August of 2013, so we've kind of begun the discussions and the like, and then sometime in October I met with Mayor Byrne, and at that point was formally offered the position, and so the transition's been ongoing probably sometime starting in September, and it still continues to ongo, and as long as Mike stays in town, I'm sure I'll be talking with him periodically to answer questions or fill in voids that I have.
Oh, excellent. And when we talk about, I mentioned 14 years, that's how long you've been here at the village, so you have quite a history. Can you tell us about that career you've had, that career path? I don't know if we've all met you prior to that. Well,
I joined the organization in 1999, right before Y2K. Prior to that, I was the village manager in Hawthorne Woods for 8.5 years. Started out as their first full-time employee, and we were able to build the organization to where it is today. And then prior to that, I was the assistant city planner in Lake Forest for 4.5 years. So, I've been in this area for almost 28 years. I know the area, lived in the area the entire time, so I've had a great opportunity and know the area very well and know the community very well. So from that standpoint, I'm very fortunate to have had the opportunity to assume this role and carry it forth now that Mike's retiring.
Well, and talking about all those municipal experiences, you can bring all that to bear here. And the fact you have had quite a few years here, and municipal projects tend to take a while. So you've seen the gamut. It's starting back with even the Nike site when that was just brush.
Right. Yep. When I got here, that planning and then the construction process started literally after I started. But I've been here through the build out of Greg's Landing. We've seen the construction of 13 or 1400 dwelling units in that project. The TIF district, the redevelopment of the former Super Kmart site, and any number of different projects along the way there that really have positively impacted the village over the years. Mariano's, Lowe's, and the like. So it's been a very fast 14 years, and I would expect that the time will continue to go that fast as we go forward.
And as we talk about the transition too, you have a staff here that stays in place. That's you guys are a well-oiled machine over here.
Yeah, I'm very blessed. We have an outstanding staff, and the folks I get to work with in all the departments are top flight, and I'm very, very, very fortunate to have have this group to work with, and I'm looking forward to great things continuing to come out of them.
Well, and I know there's projects that are ongoing. We're not going to get into all that development. At another time, we'll come back and talk to you about that. But as you see it now, we seem to be in pretty good shape, and things seem to be pretty much moving along in the right direction. How does everything feel from looking now from the helm?
Well, it's about the same as I was looking at before. So, we're fortunate. The Westfield project has now started in earnest, and we're progressing in that project, and that's huge, obviously, for our community. So that's going well. We're continuing to see economic development, and we're continuing to see retail spaces being filled and the like. So from that standpoint, economic development-wise, we're continuing to be very strong and continuing to go in the direction that we had envisioned coming out of the recession, depression, and the like. So I'm very pleased where we are with that. We still have some hurdles and some challenges. Walmart obviously is a challenge we'll be facing later this year. When they start construction in Mundelein, we'll be working with the Walmart folks to find out the disposition ultimately of what they're going to do with the store in Route 60. We're working with Menards right now to go up on the north commercial property up at Greg's Landing in Milwaukee, and that's going to be that'll be a long process, but it's something that I think will really benefit the village ultimately. We'll be working with both internally the staff and the board and elected officials, and also some of the residents out there to help mitigate some of the impact of that project and like similar to what we did with Lowe's and Mariano's. So you still have those challenges out there. We still have challenges of continuing to provide good quality customer service to our community. We're right in the middle of wintertime right now, so snow and ice always provide us a challenge, and we're going to be dealing with that. And the challenges that we're going to see with regards to provision of services are going to continue from year to year. We're just going to have to look at it in terms of how we're going to do it most economically, and yet meet the expectations of our residents and the board. So those challenges are there, and like I said, I have a great staff, so I would expect we'll meet those challenges head on and get over them very quickly.
Well, there you go. And as always, if people want to share their ideas, concerns, questions, whatever, you and your staff are always available.
Absolutely. And again, it's the same as what it was when I was in the other position. Call me, send me an email, we'll get you the answers. We like working with people. We like providing answers and directions for folks and the like, and that's the hallmark of the organization. So from that standpoint, that will not change. And again, call, email, be happy to talk with folks.
Wonderful. Thank you for taking the time. Congratulations on your new role. Best wishes to your entire staff and to Mike as he rides off into the sunset, although I think he'll be around for us.
Yeah, it's going to be strange, or it's strange and different with him not being here, obviously. And I've had a chance to work with Mike for 14 plus years, and it's been such a wonderful experience and opportunity for me, both professionally and personally. I've had a tremendous in some respects, a tremendous mentor. I learned a lot from him, and I don't believe I would be where I am today without all of his help and assistance, his coaching, his confidence in my abilities, and the like. So, he will be missed by the organization, but he'll be missed by me personally. So, I wish him the best.
Well, best wishes to you as well. Congratulations, and remember, if somebody wants to learn more about stuff that's going on in the village, Mr. Kalmar is always here and always available. Thanks for the time, and best wishes.
Thanks, Lynn.
Well, here on the update, we are making sure you're having some Olympic flavor. We are at the Glacier Ice Arena right here in Vernon Hills, and you have just witnessed Sophia Pearson and Keenan Prochnow. They are some of our champions from over here, and we're also joined by the figure skating director, Chris Hauer. Thanks for taking the time, you guys. That was beautiful, so thank you so much. Let's start with Chris. We said you were going to do most of the talking because you are the professional commentator. Let's talk about going into the Olympics. You are super busy as we're taping this. You're getting ready to go to Sochi. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I am. I'm commentating on all the figure skating events and some of the short track speed skating as well. So at the moment I'm doing a lot of preparation, a lot of homework, so I get all my facts straight. But yeah, that's going to be super. I'm working for the OBS, the Olympic Broadcasting Service, and covering the whole event for the whole 2.5 weeks.
Well, and that's something you've been tapped to do that before. You truly are an expert at this. I mean, let's just say it what it is. That's the truth.
Well, I've done it once or twice. Yeah, this is my 7th Olympic Winter Games commentating, so it's always a pleasure, always a joy to go to Olympics, and this is going to be a great one, I think.
You know what? And when we talk about the Olympics, that's when people at home get excited. They look at beautiful skaters and they see what's going on. And in fact, there's been skaters coming out of this ice rink for quite a while. You've had a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, we certainly have. Gracie Gold was training here up until the fall, and yeah, she won nationals. She's got a ticket to Sochi as well, so that's really exciting. And these two are doing well too.
Now let's talk about what you're doing. You just have come back not so long ago from Boston. Tell us what you did when you were competing there.
We were competing at the intermediate pair level, and we placed 3rd place overall.
Excellent. So that's the bronze medal too, and I think excellent. So now, how long have you guys been skating together?
So I think this is 3 years for us.
Excellent. Now, and where are you guys from? Are you from around here?
I'm from Libertyville.
Yeah.
And I'm from Lake Zurich.
Lake Zurich. So you guys come over here for this. There's people coming from all over to see stuff here. So.
Absolutely.
Now tell us, like you've been skating together for a little bit, but did you start like when you were learning to walk, or what's going on here?
Yeah, I started skating when I was 6 years old.
Okay. So, and how about you? Have you been skating for a while?
Yeah, I started when I was 6 too.
Okay, so you guys have been skating for a while. But as we're standing here talking to these guys, these are the most down-to-earth couple of kids ever. And I know you guys, you feel like everybody should be trying this. Would you encourage kids?
Yeah, anybody should try skating. It's just a fun activity, whether you want to be competitive or not.
Yeah, well, and you guys definitely are competitive. What's the next step for these guys then?
Well, now we've got to work hard. They're going to move up a level, so they move up to the novice, so it's all the big lifts and big throws, so we've got our work cut out, but all the grounding's there, so fingers crossed it's another good season for us.
Well, I can see Keenan's got the muscles, you got the pep, we're all good here, so we got this covered. And that's the other nice thing about being here at Glacier. You can come over here. We see people at all levels learning to skate right now, but you could come and sit here and watch these guys practice. You're watching high-level skating just right here in your own hometown.
Absolutely, yeah, there's skating for all levels, all standards. We've got learn to skate classes for the tots, for the adults, for anybody really, any level, any age. We've got something for you.
Yeah, Karen Kay says she could teach me to skate.
Karen Kay can teach just about anybody to skate, yeah.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for taking the time. Congratulations to you. Good luck to you in Sochi, and have a great time. Thank you. You want to skate us out here again and do your trick again?
One more trick.
One more trick? Can you do it?
Throw double loop.
In the program?
Any. So they're going to do a throw now.
Oh my!
So.
And we said Sophia's got a sore back, so we're going to throw her around.
Yeah, she'll be all right. She loves it. Here we go. Throw double loop. There you go.
Beautiful. No warm-up or anything?
No, not the best of landings, but hey-ho.
You know what I tell you, you're a perfectionist. That's why we love you. So thank you so much. Congratulations to you guys. Best wishes in Sochi. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we went from beauty and grace to a whole nother level of beauty and grace with these hockey monsters. These mini Hawks are huge. They're really fighting it out here.
Are you kidding? Oh my God, these kids are so great. I love them. Wow, boys.
I know. You know, they don't let a puck get past them. Woo. Oh, good job, you guys. Good job.
We
Very
range
nice.
from 3 years old all the way up to 6. And they come every Thursday morning to skate with me because they want to be Blackhawks someday.
Well, don't we all, you know? You know, really. And Karen Kay, she's over here. She's been teaching people to skate for forever. You do You said you could teach me to skate.
I can teach you, and I've been telling you for years to come over. I want to teach you.
And you do have people of all ages who
I do.
because you think this is the best exercise ever, right?
I say that this is the best way to lose weight, is to come out and skate.
Well, and people can do it all the time. They come on their lunch hours.
Oh my gosh, they do, but this is great for anybody's balance. Balance is important in life. To keep a healthy heart, you must have a nice balance.
Well, if you didn't hear that, I don't know what you're going to hear. So. Well, and you have programs. You've got women's hockey leagues. You've got kind of the old-timer men's. You've got kids of all ages.
We have women's hockey that's unbelievable. I think it's every Tuesday and Thursday, the women have a team. They come out, they play, they do clinics, they're wonderful. Then we have our rookies. Our rookies are fantastic. They're for little boys and big boys that get that urge at any age that they want to learn how to play hockey. So that's our rookie camp. But then we got the tot hockey, the little dogs. They're precious. We start them at 3, and they skate 2 times a week with girls and boy instructors. We teach them the right way. We teach them how to balance, how to enjoy from the heart, and that's what it is. It's magic.
Well, I was going to say, you've been doing this for a long time, too. You do summer camps, you do all kinds of stuff. You've got parties, everything. You want to find out, it's all.
We have events. We have bar mitzvahs. We have bas mitzvahs. We have anniversaries. We've never had a wedding, and I would love to have a wedding on ice.
If you hear it first, I think she'd give you a discount, so try
my gosh, yes. If anybody's single out there, I would love to talk to you about having a wedding on ice.
Yeah, she'll even find you your mate. It's all great.
I could.
So
we have a lot of hockey players, and they're great.
But, so there's just so much going on over here.
There is so much. We have public skate every single day of the week. We have public skate on Saturday, Sunday at different times. You have to call to make sure you know what time it is. It's a good, healthy environment.
This is a great facility right here in town. This is awesome.
We're going to be 15 years old in October of next year. No, November, I think we opened. And it's wonderful.
Yeah, so much has happened since then. And so remember, as you're getting ready even for summer, they've got camps and things here. So that's
we do. Summer camps. We have clinics all year round. We have tournaments all year round. Our Learn to Skate is wonderful. You get into Learn to Skate. If you want a little extra help, we do private lessons. We have a lot of very, very good professional skaters that are teaching at this rink. Hockey players we have an ex-hockey player, an ex-Blackhawk, Steve Dubinsky. He's adorable. Everybody wants to skate with him. And then we have Lawlor, who is an ex-Wolf. So we got some special people to teach special little boys and girls how to do it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for taking the time. Thank you to all your crew over here. Remember, you want to skate, we're so lucky. It's right here in town. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you so much. It's magic.
So you guys are the Hawks, okay? You're the Hawks too?
Yeah.
Is that the best team? Is that the best?
Yes.
What about the Red Wings?
No.
No? No? What about what's another one? St. Louis, not?
Nope.
Okay, so who's your favorite player?
Okay. Kind of looking there.
Yeah, who's your favorite player?
Tommy.
Tommy?
Yeah.
Tommy who? Tommy, your bud?
Tommy right there.
Oh, he's your favorite player. I think he'll be hot. And who's your favorite?
My team.
He's on your team. Excellent. So you guys do a lot of team play. Who's your favorite?
Kane.
Kane. Kane? How about you? Tave?
Lance.
Lance? Who's yours?
Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane. Who's your favorite player?
Patrick Kane.
Patrick Kane. Nobody likes Jonathan Taves here?
My brother.
I'm going to hold it.
My brother name is Matthew.
Matthew? I hope he's watching. Say hi, Matthew. Well, why don't you guys wave at everybody at home? Wave at Grandma and Grandpa. Say hi. Let's say, go Hawks! Go Hawks! Go Hawks! Well, our next topic for the update show is at the county level. We're going to talk about Lake County government. As you know, we're residents of Lake County, Illinois, the 18th district, and we're here with our 18th District Representative Aaron Lawlor, who is also our county board chairman. So thanks for taking the time to come in today and talk to us about county activities.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been an exciting year, my first year as chairman, so I'm glad to be back.
Well, let's talk about that, because I think people, just like kind of a county government 101, can you explain how the government functions,
Sure.
its structure, and then the fact that you are now our chairman of the whole county?
Well, the way I like to explain county government is it's all those things that when they're working, people really don't notice them. They're your roads, your criminal courts and civil courts, your jail, the health department, and other services like elections and recording documents, getting vital records like birth certificates, marriage licenses. So it's kind of all the behind-the-scenes stuff. And when the roads are paved, people don't really, notice what county government does. But when there's potholes or they're falling apart, they sure notice, and that's when they come to us. Our biggest role on the county board is to appropriate and spend money for those core county services. We have a $500 million budget, so it's a fairly large budget, but for taxpayers, only 7% of their tax bill goes to county government, so that's 7 cents on the dollar. And we use that to go towards all sorts of different things. And then we really work hard to leverage our non-tax revenue. So really getting a lot of grants, fees for service. The entire 18th district, or most of it, all of Vernon Hills, is on county water. So that is a core service that we provide to Vernon Hills and a number of other communities throughout the county.
Okay, you talked about the 18th district. Tell us about the fact that all of Lake County is broken up into districts. We vote for you as our representatives, and kind of how that works. And the fact that you also do double duty because you handle the forest preserves as well.
Absolutely. So there are 21 districts. We used to have 23, and I thought that was too many. And so in this last redistricting, every 10 years we have to redistrict to account for population shifts. We cut the board down by 2 positions, and we hope to do that again. But there are 21 members that are each elected from different districts. My district is all of Vernon Hills, and then portions of Long Grove, Hawthorne Woods, Mundelein, Indian Creek, and unincorporated Lake County. We also serve as Forest Preserve Commissioners, so when you're elected to the county board, you also serve as a Forest Preserve Commissioner, even though they are technically 2 separate taxing bodies. And then each of those boards elects their chairman among the board members, much like our school boards and library boards. Other local governing bodies select their leader to lead the group.
Okay, so that they selected you then. So how long have you been on the county board? When did you get elected first?
I've been on the county board. I was actually originally appointed to fill a vacancy for Pam Newton, who was my predecessor, who left to take another opportunity. Been on the board for about 4 years, and I've been chairman for the past year, and my term goes until next December. Not only am I the first Vernon Hills resident to be the chairman of the county board, but I'm also the youngest chairman in the history of Lake County, and the youngest person that we know of to ever be elected county chairman in the state. So it's kind of exciting.
Well, it is very exciting, and it's great for Vernon Hills too, because we know you're watching out for all of us, as you always have. And talking about that history, you've been in these sorts of roles all the way through. You're a local guy. You grew up around here. You went to Libertyville High School, but you've been involved with a lot of different things. Can we look back at your history, because it is? We were just talking about the library, for instance. There was a day when we didn't have a library in Vernon Hills.
Yeah, I grew up here. It's part of the reason why I got involved in the county is I'm just very passionate about our area and making sure that we keep it as a vibrant place, both that we have a high quality of living, that we have a lot of economic opportunity, that we're working to create jobs. But yeah, I did start back when I was 21 on the library board and was able to get that built. And since then, I've just been very active in a number of different organizations and causes here in town and in Lake County.
I was going to say, people who've been involved in things that happen at the grassroots level, you're involved not because you're the chairman, you're our local guy and you get involved, so we appreciate that. So let's talk about, you've touched on the fact that part of what the county has to do is kind of manage and encourage economic development. And I know that's something that's part of your vision, your focus. Can you talk to us a little bit about the Lake County-wide economic development picture?
Well, overall, we're very fortunate. We have 10 Fortune 500 headquarters. We have a workforce of 400,000 people. We have 30,000 businesses in Lake County. We've got a great pharmaceutical industry that is located here. We like to kind of refer to it as a pharma corridor, and that helps us really brand Lake County from an economic development standpoint. But we've got a lot of challenges too. Being a border county to Wisconsin is really tough, and also our close proximity to Chicago is an opportunity, but also a threat. Because you see the governor of Wisconsin constantly trying to pull businesses across that border. And you also see the mayor of Chicago trying to reposition Chicago as a tech hub and really attract a lot of people, particularly young people, to live and work downtown. Their population's actually gone down a lot over the last few years, and they're trying to reverse that. So we're fighting this two-front battle. And so what we do is we've got an organization called Lake County Partners, which is a public-private partnership that's mission is to advance economic development. And our goal is really to focus on, to build success upon success and focus on our strengths. So that's healthcare, pharmaceuticals, advanced manufacturing, professional services, and arts and culture, because we want to maintain that high quality of life. So we work with businesses, we visit them on a frequent basis to understand what their needs are, what we can do better. And what we've found is a lot of their needs are workforce related, which puts Lake County really in the driver's seat because we've got great people here. We've got educated folks. We constantly have higher percentage of people with college degrees and graduate degrees than in other areas. But we really have to dial in on what the needs of our employers are, and that's what we do through Lake County Partners.
Okay, now Lake County Partners, if somebody's watching as part of an organization, is that something they can contact you with to have a dialogue to either augment what you know or explain what they need?
Absolutely.
Okay, excellent. Yeah. The Lake County Partners is something for us all to think about. Well, then when you go back into that workforce, I know another issue that's close to you is you've got a new initiative called Leadership Lake County. Can we talk a little bit about that and the purpose and what you're doing with that?
Yeah, well, as I was going around and meeting with our small, medium, and large employers, one of the biggest things that they raised was that workforce component and identifying the next generation of leaders that they want to bring in through their company and really have them grow in the organization. And they saw kind of a dearth of young people, or that young people were going out of state to find jobs. And so what Leadership Lake County does is we're really trying to find how we can be more attractive to young people to live and work here. You know, your early 20-somethings always want to go down to the city, but then as they hit 29, 30, demographically, they always come back to start their family because we've got great communities and great schools. But we want to make sure that we have the opportunities that they want to locate here. So that includes mentorship opportunities within their companies. They want to know that they're not just getting a job, but that they have opportunity to grow within the organization. Commute times are something that are annoying to all of us, but particularly young people. Maybe if they don't want to live in Lake County yet, but they might want to find a job here, they want to know that they can get to work and get home in a reasonable amount of time.
Right.
We also see that commute times have a big impact on people getting involved in their communities, which is another thing that young people are looking for, meaningful ways to get involved in their community. We find that if people are involved, either through their churches, local community organizations, or other ways, that they are far less likely to leave the county.
So those connections are important.
Yeah. I'm kind of a product of that because I got involved at such a young age and really like it here.
You know, you've totally dialed in on everything, and it was interesting too. You talk about that quality of life for all of us. So just if we can make sure we let everybody know it's available for everybody. Now, if somebody is that the sort of thing that you need input on, or is it just in general? If somebody has an idea, if somebody has a question, give you a call, give your staff a call?
Yeah, email me, call my office. We have a Leadership Lake County Task Force. The goal with it is that we've convened a diverse group of young people, and by young people we're looking at those early career professionals who are under 40, out of college already but under 40. We've convened a task force. We're going to be surveying our HR managers, our young professionals to understand their needs. We're going to be developing it into a report of actionable items back to our Lake County Partners Organization and then putting it into place. So input from the community is really important on every front, but this is something that I would really like to hear from people on.
Well, and it's an interesting demographic, and as you said, there's so many people here, or just moving in. Maybe they've just come into the community, and that's your demographic, and they're coming from all over. We see people coming from, you know, other nations, other parts of the world, and other parts of the state. Also, make sure you find out what's going on and give your input there. And I've been on the Lake County website, lots of information about all the things going on, everything from the healthcare initiatives to the arts to the economics. So people certainly can look there for more information.
Yeah.
Do you, how about just even county board meetings, just to see what's going on there? I know that you televise those.
We do televise our board meetings. We've got a lot of great content on our LCTV page. Also, for people in helping in their commutes, we have Lake County Passage, which is an interactive site. We're the only county in the Chicagoland area that has this interactive opportunity. There's an iPhone app and an Android app for people to use, hopefully not when they're driving, but we'll tell you in real time where the accidents are, where the construction is. You can get email alerts to alert you to potential slowdowns that are going to impact your commute or your trip wherever you're going, and then you have the opportunity to reroute. So it's really a great opportunity. Transportation is a huge focus for us. We're investing $500 million in we're investing $500 million in easing our transportation gridlock. So a lot of key projects, both on county roads, and we've actually taken to a few state roads to help jumpstart those, because the state's in such a sad financial state. The bottom line is people don't know whether they're on a state road or a county road. All they know is that they're in traffic. And so we believe that for a quality of life and to maintain our strong economic position, we need to make this investment in our infrastructure.
So that investment in infrastructure, is that at the planning stage, or are you actually putting down pavement at this point?
We're putting down pavement. We just completed our largest year ever. It was $125 million in road investments. Unfortunately, you saw it at 137 and 21, which the state managed that project, and we're not happy, but it's almost done. At Rollins and 83. We also have had some major county road projects on Quinton Road, Midlothian Road. Butterfield was done several years ago, but a lot of key investments.
Okay, so maybe next time you can take over all of the. As you're right, but that'll be a great intersection up at the top of Liberty.
And then Route 53 is moving along.
It is, okay.
You know, we're still that's still in the planning stages. It's whether you look at it, or depending on how you look at it, it's a $2.2 to a $2.8 billion project. Mayor Byrne is very involved in that, in looking at how we can finance it, how we can get it done with all of our various stakeholders. So we hope to have more information on that at the end of this year.
Okay, so that is moving again. So it kind of has always been perking along, but it would kind of slow and go. So
yeah.
Okay, by the end of the year, maybe you can come back and talk with us about that then. So a lot of things going on at the county level. As always, thank you for serving us, and thank you for having that extra that chairmanship view of the whole thing, because I know that does help the whole county, of course, and it helps Vernon Hills as well.
It does.
If people want to know more, send an email, give a call, look online, and most of all, thank you very much for taking the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
This next segment is for our animal lovers and hopefully our soon-to-be converted animal lovers. We're with Sandy Kamen-Wisniewski of Animal Education and Rescue. It's one of our local shelter organizations that does adopting of dogs and cats and so much more. And I want to thank also the Cohn family from one of our viewing audience families who suggested this great segment, which is to teach us all a little bit more about the importance of adopting animals and all the other things that go with it. So thank you for taking the time, Sandy. I see you've got some friends here with you today. Can you introduce your friends to us?
Sure. This is Magoo. And Magoo is about 12, 13, 14, 15 years old, I don't know. And he's a special needs little guy, and he is blind and mostly deaf.
And Magoo's been doing very well, and Magoo looks awesome with that hat on. So nice little accessory. I know Magoo could take it or leave it, but you look good, Magoo. And then you've got Mona, another animal that you said is another shelter animal.
Yes, Mona is a Alaskan Husky, and she's 1.5 years old. And she's been with us since she was 8 weeks old. And she is also a special needs dog, and she is epileptic, and she's slightly incontinent. And she is our poster dog for our organization.
She's beautiful. And Mona, you're doing such a good job. Oh, such a good girl. Well, let's talk, Sandy, before we get into what we think about as shelter organizations. We always think of all the animals that need forever homes. Let's back up with the history of your organization, which is pretty long, and you've got a lot of tasks you guys are doing through Animal Education and Rescue. Let's start with how you even came to this role in your life and how you decided to found this organization.
Well, it was probably back in 1992 or so when I had the idea of starting a nonprofit humane society. But my kids were little, and at that time it wasn't good timing. But then in 2003, one of my dogs had to be put to sleep, and it was a really hard thing to do. And I came back full circle to the idea of starting a humane society, and so in his memory I started Animal Education and Rescue.
And when I said local, you truly are local. You're a Libertyville resident. You work with so many volunteers around our community. So a lot of you people already know Sandy because they've been volunteering with you for some time. So let's talk about you do humane, what's the name of it? You give it humane investigations.
Correct.
That's something that is very unique for this area. Can you tell people what you and your team do?
Sure. We have 5 humane investigators that are licensed by the state of Illinois to investigate cases of animal cruelty, animal abuse, and neglect. So we have an organized team of people. There's me and 4 others that actually go out and investigate potential abuse or neglect of animals. We service primarily Lake County, and we will go and investigate and do what we need to do to protect that animal.
Okay, so if somebody thinks that, would this be where you think like maybe a dog is being abused or is not being cared for, that you call the county and then you guys come on scene to check it out, or how does that work?
No, basically we're a private humane society, and so they would contact us and they would tell us about what was going on and what their concern was, and if we felt it was warranted to investigate, we would investigate. We would go to the person's house, we would talk to them, see the animal, see what the situation was, and hopefully rectify it. If we need to get local authorities involved, we will, whether it's police, animal control, local animal wardens, the village, whatever we need to do. And we service primarily Lake County.
Okay, and I know a big component of that then is education, and that's part of your name too, education. I know you want to walk away with everybody who has a pet in their home to know how to care for this pet correctly. So can you talk a little bit about your education efforts?
Sure. That is the key to us in the future of well-being for animals, is education. Is the more we can educate people on properly caring for their animals and also caring for animals in their community, the better pet owners there's going to be and the less of abuse and neglect there's going to be. So we do that through our educational programs in schools, community outreach, when we go door to door to people's residents, all sorts of things, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. I'm doing a Big Brother, Big Sister program this evening. So lots and lots of ways we can educate, and that includes, back to the investigations, that includes on investigations. Our goal, primarily, we hope, is if the owner's doing something they shouldn't be doing, that we can educate them on what the laws are in the state of Illinois and what they need to do to ensure their pet's safety.
Because your goal isn't just to rip everybody apart on that and take the animal out necessarily. You'd like everybody just to have a healthier situation through your education.
Absolutely, that's the key. And the other really exciting thing that we're doing too is we're working with police departments, and we're doing educational programs for them on the animal laws that protect animals in the state of Illinois. And that's a really exciting program that we're partnering with Lake County Animal Control on as well. And we did 3 police departments last year, and Vernon Hills was one of them, and very proud of that program because police officers primarily are not trained on the animal laws, and so this then will get them better equipped to handle situations with animals in their community.
Okay, so that partnership, that is a very unique aspect of humane societies. You really, and speaking of one more thing, pet therapy. So I mean, you cover the gamut here. Let's talk about pet therapy.
Sure. Pet therapy, we go once a month to a local nursing home and take animals with to visit the residents. A lot of our volunteers go. Some other people that have animals of their own go with us. We also go every Thanksgiving and every Christmas Day as well.
Okay, so is that something, if I wanted to get involved with you, perhaps I could be a volunteer and help you out on that kind of an effort? So
absolutely.
Okay, so that's, how many volunteers do you have in your organization? I mean, roughly, it sounds like you're doing so many things all the time.
Well, we have over 200 volunteers in our database. So it covers a variety of different things. We could have someone that all they want to do is foster animals. Or we could have someone like the Cohn family, Jason Cohn. He actually is big in our pet therapy program and our educational programs. Our youth club. So maybe a child wants to join our youth club. We have a very active youth club. Over 50 kids each year sign up for our youth club. We are the only humane society in Lake County that has a youth club of its kind, and I'm very proud of that.
No, let's talk about youth club. Now, how old do you have to be involved, or is it dependent on, you know, your involvement with the animals, or how do you get involved in that?
Any child from the age of 8 to 18 can join our youth club. And there's once a month meetings at Area Civic Center where the kids get hands-on education on animals, and it'll be all different things. It could be dogs, cats, birds, fish, bunnies, whatever. And they also can get involved with our pet therapy program. A lot of our youth club kids come to pet therapy. They can be involved in the educational programs like Boy Scout, Girl Scout events, things like that. Or even the older kids can be part of our community outreach program.
That's really interesting. So like particularly if somebody had an interest in animals, to have that kind of interaction and that kind of training with you, working side by side, that sounds like an awesome thing. Now, I know you have a website, so is that something if somebody wanted to find out more, or mom and dad wanted to find out more, they could go to the website and learn about the teen club a little bit, the kids club, and find out how?
Absolutely. They can go to our website at aear.org and find out all about all of our different programs, including our youth club.
Okay. Now, and is that something you have to join at a specific time? Or if there's another meeting coming up, we could pull the kids in at any time they need to?
Anytime.
Okay, excellent. So when you're watching at home, something to keep in mind, especially this long winter, you've got somebody that wants to try a new, and it sounds like you get public speaking, you get education, you get the whole thing. What an awesome, and you said more than 50 kids, and kids from Vernon Hills?
Oh, absolutely, all over Lake County.
Excellent. Well, we've covered humane investigations, community outreach, pet therapy, education, kids club. Now, let's get right into what we think of as a shelter. You've got 2 beautiful animals here, and that adoption process. Now, I know you've got animals coming into your system at all times. You don't have like a physical shelter building. You work with foster families to foster that. Is that something you could use help with, and can you explain the foster situation?
Absolutely. Fostering is a wonderful thing. The nice thing about having foster families is that the animal's in an actual home and they're not in a shelter environment. But the challenge with that is it's very difficult to find foster homes. And 70% of people that foster end up adopting the animal they foster. So you're chronically looking for new people to foster. There's a lot of training involved in becoming a foster family. They come to a new volunteer orientation. There's a manual for them to read. We're pretty particular on who fosters because we want to make sure that the animal goes to a home that is suitable for them. And just to point out too is that we don't just do dogs and cats. That's another thing about us in Lake County is we also take in rabbits, guinea pigs, hamsters, ferrets, chinchillas, birds.
I saw turtles on your website.
Turtles. I mean, pretty much anything except maybe lizards, snakes, and spiders. So
sounds like a personal thing for you.
Well, it's more like not our forte.
Okay.
Let's put it that way. There's lots of organizations that is their forte, and that just isn't ours. But I'm very proud of that fact. So we have foster families that are willing to foster, let's say, small critters like rabbits and hamsters. And then we might have a foster family that only wants to do kittens or only wants to do a dog or only wants to do a litter of puppies. So we can customize the fostering based on what people are willing to do.
And when you talk about fostering, and I guess it's a good thing that they want to adopt that dog. So you've got these families who've been trained. And so that also means when it's time for a family who's looking to adopt a dog or a cat or a ferret, that animal has been like in a more natural environment, what you would bring them into in the home. So I'm sure that you know everything about your animals when it comes time to place, so you can place them correctly.
Correct, and that's the positive. And the screening process that we do in order to ensure that the animal goes to the correct home is pretty daunting, but we think it's necessary because we don't want that animal to then be given up because of whatever reason and then have to rehome that animal all over again.
Well, and I'll attest to that. It is people should be ready for that screening process because it is very specific. There's paperwork to fill out. We adopted a dog from Animal Education and Rescue, and I know we went through a lot, and I thought, wow, this is a lot of stuff to do here. But then you still got the chance to approve us after you met us, and so it is, you want that forever home for that animal, and I commend you for that.
Thank you. And I know some people get frustrated or put off by the process, but really it's for the best interest of not only the animal, but the family as well.
Well, you obviously, and when we adopted our dog, Dexter, world famous Dexter, you knew that he was going to be a fit for us because you knew Dexter and you knew a lot about us. And so I do appreciate the process, but people do have to be prepared for that going in. It's not like you can just walk in as you might at a pet store or someplace like that where you're just, I plunk down some money, I take home the animal. This is an adoption process. So, and what about, I know economic times have hit our area hard. So if somebody has an animal that they can't take care of, is that something you can help with? I know that sometimes we find, we hear of animals that were just abandoned. The family loses the home, moves away, and an animal's left there. To leave that, can somebody be a little bit more proactive if they know they can't take care of that creature anymore? Can they contact you for some help or insight?
Well, thank you for leading into this because actually before they have to make the decision to give the animal up, we have a pet food pantry that we started about 3 years ago. And I'm very proud of that. We have a whole group of dedicated volunteers that actually get donations of dog and cat food and cat litter. And anywhere in Lake County, if you're a Lake County resident and you have a need and you are low income, then you can go to our pet food pantry either a Wednesday or Saturday. It's in Grays Lake, and you can get dog or cat food or cat litter. Okay. So if it's a matter of food for your animal, we can help with that. Okay. If it's a matter of somebody just really doesn't, for whatever reason, want their animal anymore, they can definitely contact us and we can either agree to take the animal or guide them as to where they can go to find a placement for their animal.
Well, so it sounds like there's a lot of ways that you can get involved, and it sounds like donations of cat food, dog food, litter would be a way that somebody could get involved. And I know through our local high school, there's groups that have been doing that and supporting some of these pantries. And it sounds like there's a lot of ways you could volunteer and connect with, and you're not just connecting with your community, you're connecting with a lot of wonderful people here. So is that something that if we want to volunteer as adults, if we want to get in the kids club, if we're looking to adopt an animal, All these things you guys can help with.
Absolutely. And we have a new volunteer orientation once a month. So if somebody isn't sure what they want to do or how they want to volunteer, they can come to the orientation, just check us out, come sit in, see what we're all about, and decide at that point if they're interested in volunteering.
So no risk. You can just come and listen. You can meet Sandy in person. You can find out what there is to do. And at some point, there's a way we can all connect in with you, whether it's some, and you would take donations of money, I'm sure, too, so that you can do all your good work.
Absolutely. Our medical bills for our animals are our biggest expense. Mona cost us $5,000 in medical expenses. So our animals, obviously, we care about them. We want them to be well and healthy. So donations of money is always wonderful. We also have a wish list that's regularly updated. It's on our website of items that we regularly need. Like, for instance, Mona right now needs milk thistle. Go figure. Milk thistle's a herbal remedy to protect her liver.
Okay.
So there's all sorts of ways that people can help.
Okay. Well, it's such a wonderful story. Mona, you were beautiful here today. Mona is, and you said Mona is available for adoption.
She is available for adoption.
That'll be a heartbreaker for you, but what a beautiful dog. And she's just been a princess here. She's just been perfect and beautiful. Magoo, you've done a great job.
And he's also available for adoption.
Okay, Magoo. Smile for the camera.
So, please adopt me. I'm so cute. Look at my tongue sticking out.
I know, and your hat looks good too. So,
yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Thank you to the Cohen family for suggesting this. Thank you to all the volunteers who work with you to make sure this happens. If you're interested in learning more about how to volunteer, how to donate, how to get connected in, how to adopt or be a foster family, I'm sure give you a call, and I'm sure you'd love to tell the story. Come to that orientation and learn more. Kids, get involved in kids clubs. So much to do right through this organization. So thank you so much for all you're doing.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
No problem. Check the website, find out more. Thank you, Sandy, and best wishes to your dogs here. May you find forever families very soon. Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, that wraps up this edition of the Vernon Hills Update. But remember, if you have suggestions or story ideas, please contact Mike Storto at 847-918-3560 or email Mike S. at thehills.org. Thank you for tuning in to the Vernon Hills Update.